just a woman. Help me believe in what I could be and all that I am. Show me the stairway that I have to climb. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from thee. Just give me the strength to do everything what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, and tomorrow may never be mine. So help me today, give me the way, one day at a time. Do you remember when you walk among men? Well, Jesus, you know, if you're looking down now, it was now than then. Cheating and stealing, violence and crime. So for my sake, teach me to think one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from you. Just give me the strength to do every day what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. So help me today, teach me your way, one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from you. Just give me the strength to do everything what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. So help me today, show me the way, one day at a time.
Wow, 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 wow. One day at a time. And that is why we are taking today to learn the digital literacy in Ghana University, the role of the librarian. And we have a very respected speaker speaking to us, Professor Kofi Ayebiata.
All right, thank you. I want to say that I have a healthy respect for librarians. I remember my first degree when we went to orientation, went to the old library and we were given the, what do you call it, the test catalog, the small white card they have to flip through. I was in this when I didn't understand what we're doing. But we did something. It was orientation, so we had to do something to show. Then along the way, the science library was up here, and just remember that too. For our place, it is a K. So you just go to the K section, you'll be okay. Then you go the book, you can't find the book there. Then you keep on roaming somewhere, you're so tired. Then you see the K book has appeared somewhere in. And then you know someone's hidden the book. You also go and also hide that book. Keep on. It was nice. During my PhD, I read an article, and somebody has cited someone, and also cited that person who cited that person. My supervisor went mad. This is a PhD, you must use first primary sources. I was like, I can't even go third. This is just second. So I put in a request for interloan. 1 month the book came. I just read that page. I changed the citation, and she was happy. Yeah. It wasn't for a librarian. I didn't think we were going to a fight forever. Yeah. Oh, yes. So I have a healthy respect for librarians, and when I'm in the midst of librarians, I feel small. When I hear the word digital, I get excited because it's become a catchphrase. With digital, everything comes up. There are so many words that are added to digital, and then it expands to something else. We talk about digital footprinting, where you want to say how much are you exposed online. We talk about digital citizenship. Anywhere digital, I get excited. You're going to see what else has been added. Now we have digital literacy. Basically, we define literacy as the ability to read and write. Later, people say that it is ability to decode and encode symbols. So now, if you add the word digital to it, then what happens? So you say that these are the 4 components that come to it. And this actually came about because of the 21st century skills. Before then, no one has really been speaking about digital literacy. But after the 21st century skills, when we started talking about digital literacy, then other sub-constructs came in. Which means I also get more job to do. So we have information literacy, technical skills, critical thinking, collaboration as components of digital literacy. Now, in this age where we are all supposed to integrate the use of ICT in the things we do, we must be digital literate. It's virtually impossible to exist without interacting with a digital tool in a day. Some way, somehow, you interact. When we started Momo 15 years ago, so people won't understand Momo. But so far, I've not heard anybody saying that you send the wrong Momo to somebody. Everybody is careful. It is money. So everybody is careful about who to send, how to send. So, and people are not literate, they cannot use it. We use mobile phones and on and on and on. When it comes to money, our literacy is top notch. Our financial literacy is just top notch. Think of the dollar. It's one color, green. But you never heard of any joke saying that somebody gave a $100 bill for somebody for paying for 10 or for 1. It doesn't happen. Financial literacy is just up there. We don't joke with money. So in the same way, when you use ICT tools, what makes us able to use ICT tools? There are so many things we can do with ICT tools, but the basic problem is limited infrastructure. We want to do it, but it's virtually impossible in certain places. We all know of this. Those who use the Accra Cape Coast Road, there was a time we had some robbery, and the members realized that at that place there was a blind spot. You couldn't send messages. There was no network. So they targeted there just for 3 hours and later ran to the bush. Who are you going to call? Call. No network. So when we have the telcos get the license, they don't get license for different places. They get license throughout the country. But then they have blind spots. You decide that, well, this place, they don't have enough money. So why should I invest my infrastructure there? When MTN was first established, it bypassed Cape Coast to Takrade, then went to Takwa, then came to Cape Coast. DSTV went to Takrade to Takwa before coming to Cape Coast. And yet the lines are passing in front of Cape Coast because they claim we didn't have enough money. So it's always challenging the infrastructure. If it's not built, you cannot run on it. And we talk about training. You wish you want to use it, but you don't know how. In technology, we have this model, the technology acceptance model. Perceive usefulness, perceive ease of use. Yeah, the perceived usefulness is there because at least you know that it can be of help. The perceived ease of use is what becomes the issue. If there's no one to help you with it, you might well stay back. So that is the aspect. You wish you could, but you just don't know how. You say you want something, go to the library. You get to the library, there are the books. What do? If you don't know who to go and ask. So you say that in that case, I'll just stay in my room. If you don't know how to use a search engine properly, you just say, I searched online, I couldn't find it. Then you ask the person, what operators did you use? If you don't know how to use the and the plus properly or use the quotation marks, you will miss out what you're supposed to get. Somebody will do the same thing and get the result. So the how is also an issue. If you've not been trained on how to do these things, you will not get it. Then the next one we talk about the low digital literacy. You expect students and is this being recorded? Invented lectures that they should know because they've been using the tools, but not everyone knows how to do it. So people are hiding under the assumption that they can do, they know. But then when it becomes one-on-one, you realize the person doesn't know. There's this training course we have on campus, the ITS for first years, and they're encouraged to use Allison as for the quiz and submit. What the first years do is that they hire their own colleagues to go and take the exam on their behalf. So and then they report that I've got this score. Final year, when you're doing a course, computer applications, and you know that they've done something, so you are stepping it up. They ask you fundamental questions, but you've done this. Oh, say someone did it for us. So it means that you have to now go back to teach that thing before you go forward. And yet, it's only 3 credits. So you have to do some hop, step, and jump, and some people fall in between. Now, if you're not trained in having the skills, you definitely don't know how to find what you're looking for. Did you say that fortunately or unfortunately, there's now AI, when people are now just typing things into ChatGPT or Meta AI and get what they have. You get the data, but you should be able to understand what you have. They do the copy and paste and you look at it and you smile that this is AI generated. An instance of someone bringing away, and I saw this word, nuances. Yeah, it's a word, but it's not really a Ghanaian word. And it's appearing 4 times in one paragraph. Oh no. I don't need anything to tell me that this is from somewhere. Yeah. A person read it, maybe he liked the word nuances, so was using it. I read it, I said, 1, okay. 2, Nah. 3. Oh, no. I could say. Then I saw a fourth one. I said, "Kai, this one." I just circled and say, "Explain." Next, and the person even took the paragraph. So, with these hindrances that we know that exist, the question is that how can students be helped? And not only students, how can lecturers be helped? We have the commons for the senior members. And if you have a problem and you go to a place, you can see the librarian one-on-one and get your things solved. Some are shy to say that they need help. But the question is that if you don't say you need help, how can you get help? You can go round and round the issue, but you also go round and round with the solution. And until you give the problem, then you get this proper solution. And where best to get the solution than to see a librarian. So how will a librarian help us to overcome these challenges? Digital literacy workshops. I know there are instances, at least for the postgraduate students, where on campus the library organizes series of workshops on e-resources. That's a good start for the postgraduate to know that if you need something, this is how to get it. And these are also resources that on campus they introduce to the database, and you realize that wow, we have all these things, we have ProQuest, and oh, I didn't know. But if you don't come, how will you know? And those who know also go about spreading it. It's something that we started in our primary schools where you want to be first. So we always hold information and you don't want to say. Although if you're in the university, everybody gets first class, it doesn't matter. We always want to hold. So somebody goes for that training, will not anyone that there's training on how to do something. You want to learn how to use the bibliographical software. You will learn how to use Mendeley. After that, the person is doing references, no problem. There is somebody asking, oh, how do we do this in APE? If you had come for a training, you will have known. Yeah, and the person will be there. Finally, you will survive the writing of the chapters. And then when it comes to the Viva, you are told that you are missing 1 in 20 references. But if you use Mendeley, these things wouldn't have happened. Yeah, it will be embedded. And then they say, oh, how come you didn't have any problem? And so I've been using Mendeley. You didn't tell me. Well, we're all colleagues. Why didn't you come for the training? You thought that this one doesn't matter. There have been a lot of workshops. So the library is organizing that for postgraduates. I wish there were instances where we could also have something similar for undergrads. We let them know that the best tool they have is their digital phone. And they can do everything with it. It's work in progress. Most of the things that we do always come face to face. If there are instances where we have this online, maybe a section in the library, if we should log on onto the university system, and then when you go to the library at maybe on the left or on the right, you can have a place ask a librarian where you could have an interaction with the digital librarian. Post questions, get response. At least you know that you are speaking to a librarian because you have logged on. And if you misbehave, you know who logged on. Sometimes they're scared that people will just be chatting with anyone, but at least somebody logged on. So if anything at all, we can see that person because you have your login credentials. You can always cross-check who that person is. And if you have issues with referencing, now it's taught, but if you still have issues with it, the best place to get a solution is to go to the library. So the university in our documents we say that we're using we always adopt the latest APA format. APA has moved to 7, but we are stuck on 6 because everybody has learned 6. We are not ready to do any real learning. We keep to our 6. Somebody counts in, so this is 7. I say, who said go 7? Go back to 6. And I know that the library always requests for books from departments, ask them what do you need. When they get also resources, e-resources, they send it emails to us frequently that we've got this resource, a 30-day trial. If you think it's good, then we can subscribe to it. So they try to engage. They've been engaging. In the same way, if a department needs something, you cannot subscribe to all the databases. Right? If you find one that is special to you and is not in, maybe you make the request and then you see how it can be added to the collection. Understand it's all about money, but I think if you try enough, you get something. So we're hoping that when you are developing curriculum, yeah, you see the librarians and ask, so what do you have? And this has become a big issue, especially using the LMS. The idea being that when you are giving references, there should be references that you have. You see, there are recommended books, and then there are other books. So all the recommended books should be in the library. So if you're going to give a link, then the link should be from the library. If you give an external link, and then someone comes and says that, why are you using this link? You cannot get a response. Now, we have, should I say copied? That's mild. We have copied so much that we've forgotten that copying is stealing. Yeah, you want a copy of Creswell, Palant, and you get it, but it is somebody's copyright. Yeah, but we've been sharing so long that you now upload it from your stolen collection up there, when you could have gotten the proper link from the library and then upload it. So when it comes, it is from the library, not my stolen collection. But we've been sharing our stolen collection so much that we've forgotten that it is stealing. Yeah. If it's from within, from ProQuest and all that, then you know that when somebody comes and wants to do an audit, you don't have a problem. So when you're going to do and develop a program, new course, first after having these things, you see the librarian, what do we have? Do you have these? And then like, the librarian will see if they can get it for you. Don't use your stolen one. But as I said, people don't know they're TV stealing. So we are just lucky that they don't think about us that much. But if they did, some of us, if they come, they see you do stop to audit to say, please, where's your car? And then we go and sit in. No need for us to be discussing any issue. I know I'm good. So please just show me the car. Let me go and sit in. So the workshops, as I was saying that in UCC, I know that the library has been organizing some workshops. So if it's done across all universities and for people to know the resources that are available, the librarians put a lot of work in trying to get resources or specialized resources. This is what they call curated material for someone. And it all can be done and you are not coming for it. You are not utilizing the library. And the library is a resource for all academics. Yeah, so, and sometimes people don't know that those materials exist. You send an email, you hear that the new curriculum is being developed. Okay, where did you get the references from? You know, something like that, so that they will realize that the thing must come from within, not from outside. And then people get to know how to cite properly so that you don't get into trouble. So how do we get the librarians to help us? So first I've talked about the integration of already, where we're showing how to get access. Now, I know that in UCC and then some other libraries that I visited in UDS, yeah, we provide off-campus access to the resources that you have. Not everyone can be on campus. Old school were using easy proxy, where you all there is. If you're on campus and you go to resource, because you're on campus, is not a problem. But when you're off campus and registered, anything you click to, you go to easy proxy and then you're able to access. It assumes as if you're on campus and therefore can get those resources. So when we encourage people that there's always offline access, you don't always have to be on campus to access it. Now, even sometimes you are on campus, but you are not on the university network. It's the same thing as you being. So the issue is that we have to spread the network around that everybody can access, so that when you're on campus, you can get access. If you are not on campus, we know that you can do the offline, off-campus access. Therefore, you can also get the resources. Now, when you want to access something and don't get it at that time, wait till the next day, wait for 6 hours, the idea is gone. So if it's there and you know that click, you get it and keep on moving. And you know that you are, although not on campus, but you are still connected to the resources, can still get to flow. One thing that we always not been doing, which I wish that the librarians take on board, is digital citizenship. You have the digital tool in your hand, either your phone or your tablet. But the question is that people just are attracted to things that they have not done. I mean, how do you tell me that I'm the 1 millionth person on this website, therefore you earn the prize? This is how money is given. Yeah, but a lot of people get attracted by this free money, or to win this, click on this. Not forgetting that when you click on that link, it's harvesting your resources. Yeah, so when we do the digital citizenship and get people to know that it's not everything that is, what expression? It's not everything that glitters that is good. Yeah, so you get to know how to behave online. With the advent of COVID-19, when people started forming groups and using online messaging, you have people who bully people online. Look at your spelling. Or somebody typing in capitals and don't know that it all has certain meaning for communication. The person doesn't understand why I shouldn't type in capitals. When you type in capitals, it's considered shouting. And someone sends a message, someone also replies to that message and send them. And if you realize the content itself of what you're doing is gone, it now becomes something else. Almost, I'm sure that any of the platforms that we have, there's those who do the religious stuff, there are those who do the political stuff, and all these things tend to digress from the purpose. And one of the things with the messaging is that it is one to many. When I send, it goes to 250 or 400 people. Then one other person also sent 400. You are just spending everybody's data. But people don't think that what is data. But if I buy my 10 CDs for the month and this message back and forth that I'm not interested in is deducting my 10 CDs, at the end of the month, what is it that I'm using my own for? Before I realize I only have 4 CDs left to do my own thing. 6 CDs was people spending the money on my behalf. Yeah, but people don't consider that there's something on their chest, they must get it out. You are spending money. It's technically money. And this was found out in India. In the morning, during the mornings, they realized that internet was very slow. So people did investigations and realized that there were a lot of family message WhatsApp groups. And even when you use Telegram, you can go to 10,000. So in the morning, a grandmother or a great grandmother will say, "Good morning." Everybody will respond, because we'll be tired if you didn't respond. Then after that, another message. So in the morning when they're doing all the good mornings, the network is very slow throughout the country. After 10, then it speeds up. Getting to 5, when the grandma asks again, I hope everybody's home. Hope everybody's at dinner. And then it goes down again. Yeah, but that is all, and the telcos are happy. I mean, back and forth, they're making their money. I remember in 2015, they're about getting to the ending when people started using WhatsApp calls. The telcos recommended to the government that they should block WhatsApp calls because people are using to make international calls, and where the Ghana government was losing money. Now, when we do the IDD thing, I think it costs 19 cents or something, 19 pesos, and the government part is 12 or something. So they say if we're doing that, then the government is not getting money. The social media thing was new, so it didn't get a handle. Now everybody has social media bundle, and I smile. Just about 10 years ago, you wanted this one band. Now you see that there's money in it, so you now have social media bundle and Coco bundle and all those to make sure that people are using more data. Because when you make a WhatsApp call, the person making the call pays. The person to receiving also pays. And that's the best. We call it double dipping. If it is a regular phone call, the person making the phone call is paying. The one receiving is free. But now paying and receiving both cost. And so they make money. At best is when it's during holidays. Christmas. Everybody sends Christmas messages. Everybody responds. Free money. How can you say that you won't respond to a Christmas message? Yeah. The telcos are very happy. Then the next one too is about critical thinking skills. I know that there's a course in critical thinking, but it's about embedding it into the digital life. There are some things, some arguments some people make, and you realize that if you've even taken a second to read over what the person, you wouldn't have said it. Why are you saying this? Wasn't your grandfather an MPP person? That's your granddad. What has it got to do with now? But he benefited, and that benefit also came to your father, which is now coming to you. It's this convoluted thing. But grandfather was a Ghanaian. I'm also a Ghanaian. So if Ghana has benefit and helped him, I'm also entitled to all the goodies as a Ghanaian. Yeah, but at the heat of the moment, people make some arguments and wonder that. Are you sure you are thinking what you are saying? You are thinking. Which becomes another argument altogether. Yeah, so if we're able to form that thinking when we're using digital tools, it helps. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, and I'm glad that we have this how to delete messages. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, you might send something that when you think about it, I shouldn't have. At least can press and delete. Unless with those other people are using some funny WhatsApp types, which when you delete the message, it's still there. But the regular ones, when you delete, thankfully, it's gone. If you have something, I saw what you deleted. I deleted it, so there's nothing I can say about it. I can't even remember what I said. Now, plagiarism is also a very big issue. People don't understand that when you use somebody's idea, thoughts, words, you must give acknowledgement. I always say that our older folks already didn't know about plagiarism. They thought of it when Akwesi Apofriti and the rest are singing. They start with Enananum say, get that then going. But now you see Shatawale singing, they start as if like he's the one who generated the knowledge. So those all times they didn't know, but at least they understood plagiarism and whatnot. So they acknowledge resources, sources and whatnot. So much as we academics, we have to let people know that if someone you read something and therefore you had an idea, just say that Micro 2022. I mean, that's all that you want. And it doesn't cost anything to write that person's name. But you see somebody not even acknowledge. Somebody is doing the research, chapter 3, the research methods, and the person is citing so many research designs. Where did they come up from? You read something. So why did you read it? At least write that person's name and let's go over with. You are writing and writing and writing. Say, is it out from your head? Yes. Where did you read it from? Is that what you mean? Of course. People don't get that one at all. About copywriting, when we talk about the open source, it's about 6 type of reuse, use, mix, and I know that there are 6, but please don't let me say the 6. I know it's there somewhere with that one. So if you want to use somebody's work, check whether it is free to use or whether the warranty has expired. I always keep on telling people that this phrase, let's get ready to rumble. There's only one person in the world who can say it. Just one. Go and say that at Bukum Boxing Arena. Next week you get a letter. Either you pay or you use. One person. You got it right. But for us, we think that the world is all okay. Oh, and all that stuff. Otherwise, they don't go that way. What was this issue, politics, when there was UCC? Then funny stuff, and then everybody was doing the same thing. Then later I saw it is something that used in the religious things for finding the devil. If somebody incorporated that movement, I made money. Think of all our idiosyncratic symbols and whatnot. We didn't know. Think about copyright. Somebody copyright it, and they said that it is free and it's made some design. You add some stroke underneath. So when you see a Jinami like this, he's doing Jinami with the other hand, and then you copyright. So I went online and yes, rest of Ghana. Is this true? I saw it online. It's true. Anyone from KNUST? Is this true? I saw it online. If it's not, let me go and tell them to remove it. It's not true now. It used to be true. Yeah, if it used to be true, then it is still true. Depending on who you ask. Yeah, so things are available that at least you know that other universities are putting effort to make people in the universities digital literate. And as I said that the library is the warehouse of all knowledge. Everything that you do is housed in the library. So it is good when we try to get people literate and how to do stuff. I had a friend who was going to do a PhD, and everybody kept on telling him that to read this particular book, read this particular book. So when I went for my PhD, I bought the book and I posted it. When he saw the book, he called me and was laughing, saying that that person's PhD, for this chapter 1 to 5, was in his master's, because he did 1 to 7. So the person's 1 to 5 is in his work. Everything that the person did. But the question that we didn't have this D space. I don't know what to call it now. The
repository.
Yes, we didn't have it. So now how are you going to tell somebody, I did mine 10 years ago? No one will believe you from Africa. We are gone. Yeah. So it's good that we have all these resources, so at least they get to know that Africans can also generate knowledge. Eventually, he did the PhD also because he didn't see how that book could help him when he did that work 10 years ago. Better than somebody's work. His master's was better than somebody's PhD. Or a person that is only in UCC that is new, because that's where the only place you can get a book from the library. No one else has said, are you going to post your book to somebody that I have done this sometime 10 years ago? So at least we are adding some resources, and then now it is hosted on the repository. I would wish that before students graduate, the soft copy is sent to the library. And the library gives you your link before you graduate. Not that after you graduated and then the School of Graduate Studies is not going to bring you the thing. At least now we've moved on to online submission. Formerly, it had to be a CD. Then you go for the CD only to realize that it's a blank. Or the CD is scratched, so nothing is on. Or somebody has other puts on some conjunctive music and blank. There's so many things. But if we could get it earlier, now that you've gone online, you get it when we see that the link we've gotten, we've uploaded it to the repository. Then we send it back to the graduate school saying that yes, it is on before you graduate and get your certificate. Not the other way around that eventually you get it. That time the person is graduated and gone. And maybe what is done is good that people will be downloading and we're getting more visibility because of that paper. But when you're going for it, blank or scratched or music, so it works out. But I guess this policy to be taken up there. But if we could say that, let's get the person's repository link and send to me that this is your link. And once you get it, it's yours for life. Then you can graduate. So the graduation process is getting your hyperlink to be part of the graduation. Then people realize that it is good. You must get to you because when you are going to come, you make sure that your soft is corrected. We always talk about the digital divide, and whenever we think that we're closing it, something opens up again. Formerly, everybody knew we get a mobile phone. Now we upgraded from mobile phone to a smartphone. Now you upgraded from a smartphone to a smart device. So it's always increasing. But we cannot say that because of that we're going to stop. We must also keep on moving with times so that all the resources that are available, we talk about accessing MOOCs. If we could get a curated MOOCs or said, okay, we want to do this, here's some Coursera link, here's the link to MOOC online and other things, so that anyone who is studying, when you go for a lecture, the any course that you want, someone has gotten a MOOC for it. It's not only just YouTube, but it's a full program on its own that you can also use your own phone to log on. You don't pay for anything. You want to just understand what you are being taught in school. So you're taking that same course. So you have the virtual class, you have the face-to-face class, and then in the end, if you get your A, thank to God. So these resources are available, but unfortunately, students don't know that it's available. I said, when I was in school, we had to hand books. There are some books we never saw. When we started using this online stuff, and then we had Botany for Degree Students by AC Duterte. We never saw the book. So when we got it online, that's what you're now using as our WhatsApp DP. I'm sure they don't want to own it, but I'm sure only about 4 people, your discussion group. They'll go and then they'll make sure that that book never comes out. And unfortunately, we're also sharing the same book with our Greek students. So he never saw the book. 2 years. And then digitally available. Just shook my head and said, oh God, I have missed. All the books you want are available. And there wasn't any progress when we were in school that you could. All those resources we missed. But now the students even don't know that those resources are available. Any book you want, you can get it online. You can use your smart device you have. If you don't have it, come to the library. There are places where you can access those things in the library. So we students need to know that these resources are available. When they are available, they'll be coming, and we're asking more questions, and then you also be getting creative in doing more resources. In my former university, the library had what we call the multi-search. So it was their own search engine that they've created, and it searches across all databases. So if you want something, just type what you want in there. It might not be in the place you thought that it will be. It will be somewhere else. But now that you've seen it, you just go and click it, and so we didn't even remember what databases we have. All we just needed to do, type in Moses search, you get it. It makes life easier if you have something like that. And so instead of going to search in Google or going to Google Scholar, use this tool, you can find it. So when we also get creative and tell the students that we are creative, and then we can even be more creative depending on what you ask us, then things will be come better. There are always new things. I mean, it wasn't for a training I came here, I even didn't know what was ProQuest. And I heard it, I said, oh, so you have it so for a long time. Okay, let's continue. Yeah. So you can have it, you borrow the thing, after a while it goes away, you can re-borrow. And it's always been there in the side. How can we didn't know this? So sometimes when you realize how you suffered to do something, you realize that there was an easy version. And you realize that, oh no. So some people just don't know that these things exist for them to use. And you have them. They don't know that you have them. So there must be some way where you can test it. And the only thing that can happen can be just be organizing workshops when they come. It's maybe every month two. So people can decide on which one they are going to attend. Which one are they going to attend? And then by the end of the year, if we organize 24 of these things, definitely somebody will have heard. So not only just being one short thing, but repetitive once a month or twice a month. People be coming, and then when you realize that you've gotten saturation point, you change and add something else so that you still keep coming. Eventually, if we could get to this stage, I know that there's been a change in the course. When we were in school, third year, we're doing information retrieval. I think now it is changed. Information literacy system. So at least that's a course everybody does in the system. If they get to know that all these things are available, then they will be coming. Because some people really, they know there's a library. But what is in the library, they don't know. Because they just see that building and they get scared. That during the course and tell them all these things are available, you see them coming on their own, one by one. What can you help me? And the best place to go somewhere and say, please, I want something. Then you upload your problem to the librarian. And the librarian say, come back in 2 weeks. You want a paper, you see that paper, and they say, buy. Everywhere you go trying, they say, buy. Come to the library and say that you want this paper. As to how they get it, that's not your problem. You come back, the paper is there. You requested this paper. That is. So if you don't push, how will you get? So people don't know that there's a place where you can go and, I won't say dump, go and discuss the issues. Go and just say that I'm stuck. I'm trying to download these 2 papers. I can't get them. Can you help me? And then leave the problem to the person. I won't say, oh, UCC does not subscribe or no. If it doesn't subscribe, I want this. You finally will get the paper. How they get it, not issue. So then people should get to know that whatever your problem is, see the librarian. Your issues will be resolved. And that will work out. Inform, just like I said that when we're developing curricula, we must always be inform the departments that if you want to use some books, the books will come from the library, not from your collection. Your collection will be other books, but recommended books should be from the library. So always consult the library. The academic board subcommittee on reviewing documents. I wish that there would be a librarian. So far, there are people from different colleges, but I wish that there would be a librarian on board who will be just looking at the books there and say that, oh, this book is not in our collection. This book is not in our collection. So go and revise that book If you say it's good enough, tell us and we'll buy it for you. When it's just there and you keep on looking at it, they'll get to know that the librarians are something. Please pass through them before coming here. But if you don't, and you get some fantastic book and no one has it, you're the only one who has a copy, then in that case, then you'll be selling access to your own copy. So I wish that the librarians are part of the curriculum review. So whenever you're going to submit a document for accreditation or reaccreditation, they check through your references and see whether what you have is in the library before you take it off. And then you go and instead of where is this, where is that, and then so I have it. It's in our departmental library. Now, one thing that the librarians have done is that all libraries in the university are under the St. Jonah Library. If you're going to a department library or you're going to the whole reading room is manned by librarians. So it is standard. In that same way, make sure that anything I read is from the library so there won't be issues about plagiarism. So to conclude, we always say that librarians are important in digital literacy in Ghanaian universities. Now, as I said, the library is the repository of knowledge, so you cannot do without them. Some people think that they can, but what they are doing is not enough. But because they don't know, they think that they know what they are doing. Forgive them, they don't know. So if we inform the library of what we want, they can get us what we want, and we make our work better. The library is the backbone of everything that we do. You can get, when you say, oh, someone somewhere should get you that resource, that person is getting this from another library. Yeah. So in the end, the libraries are all connected. You say, I don't like our library, there's enough, so you get it from me. But that is also from somebody's library. In the end, you're still interacting with the library. That's the issue. Some people just don't understand that interacting with the library. So in the end, so let's interact with students and let them get these digital skills and make them better citizens. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Professor. I think as we did early on, we can take the questions if there are, and then he addresses them. Yes, sir. It's a very fantastic presentation, and it looks like you know a lot of things about the library work. I just want to know, how you went about knowing all these things. I know you are a friend of it. It looks like you are a friend of the library. How did it happen?
I'm very inquisitive.
I'm very inquisitive, and I directed a long time ago by a friend, like whatever you want to go to the library, and it has been there. Anything. So I'm friends with librarians. Almost everywhere I go, I get a librarian as a friend. That's so that I don't get stuck.
Any other, please?
Yeah, I looking at the level of digital illiteracy in our university communities, even among the faculty, even sometimes the librarians. We also have librarians who are digital illiterate. Let me put it frankly. And the students. I don't know whether you've come across any research that can really ascertain the level of illiteracy, digital illiteracy in our university community in Ghana. Even if it's specific to any university at all, I'm just curious to know whether we know that, because the solution starts from we knowing the crisis we are facing in terms of digital illiteracy. Because there are still some lecturers and some students, even this common e-learning, using their learning models to teach. Some still teach on WhatsApp this, and some teaching their children are crying at the background. and a whole lot of things. And I understand when we even wanted to start the online teaching here during COVID. You know the challenge we had. Majority of the even faculty couldn't come to terms with the system and how to teach. So I just want to know whether we really appreciate the crisis, the situation in our universities, because we are not worried about for the other community fund, but for the university community, now that we are going digital and everything, I mean, are we aware of the level of illiteracy, digital illiteracy that we have, and how are we addressing them? Yeah, we know you've spoken about the librarian's role. I know other people don't have a role to play, even the faculty have a role to play. We've taken your words, but what is the situation like? Thank you.
Let's say the country knows that there's a problem. There's a Ghana digital literacy program. And the idea knowing that there's a problem nationally, but I have not seen any research that is sitting on the issue. What you have is people research on several aspects about digital citizenship, about bullying, about economics, but we're all skirting around the issue. When you start, it's a big thing, and then you won't be able to tackle it at the close. So people are doing research on several parts. Maybe we need someone to do a systemic review where it will be collating all the research that people have done. As I said, on campus, the only way we can help to minimize it is by having constant seminars. You can have it and then get it recorded as a webinar, and then it's uploaded onto the students' portal. So every student, whenever they go online, all the courses that they register is automatically registered in the portal. So one of the constant things as a course would be a webinar on this. You won't click, you don't click, but it is still there. So that one is available online, and then we also run workshops every 2 weeks, once a month. So it could be that somebody in the library takes one aspect, the next week somebody takes another aspect, then it is repeated the next week, just twice a week, and you do that for a year. And so a lot of it will be some penetration. Someone missed, you get to do it other way. In my former university, we had what we do here as academic writing for graduate students. It was a series of workshops which were organized throughout the year. So when is the postgraduate day, they just collect all that they've done for the year and then have it in 1 week. And then if you have a notice supervisor, we just call for your attendance. You got your registration number, those how many. Whenever you go for the seminar, you have to log on with your registration. So you do it in the room, so you know that you have attended. And then he looks at it and see that so he's not attending enough, and tell it attend. Every 6 months you must write a report, and it's up to the supervisor to say that you are good to continue or not. And no one wants a not. So the person, the supervisor will write, then you write the comment on the supervisor's comment, and then you send it to the head of school. Head of school will write the comment and send it back to you. Then you will send it to the postgraduate office. So everything is on you. Whatever you don't like on the comment that was said, you make your comment on that comment. And the final postgraduate coordinator will tell you whether you should continue or not. So it was a bit scary. Every 6 months you are on trial. Oh, you have all the fun. Visa entitles us to work as many hours you want, but 6 months you shall be caught, because you are not sending reports to the person, is not reading from you. And 6 months you want me to write that you should continue. It happened to a Ghanaian. They changed the rule to 1 year, and was happy. It was, because I'm seeing all over. When he got to the year, the supervisor said, I don't see him. And he was withdrawn. How do you come to Ghana and say that you've been withdrawn from his school? He now ended up at the police. Because there were only 8 universities. And you said, oh, I'm here. They just call the school. I mean, it's that simple. 8 universities. He ended up being in the police so that he could stay. Because he cannot return Ghana 1 year and say that I couldn't do it. He must well ask for academic asylum. So we should be interacting. They say some people, things have to be forced on them. So we keep the seminars. We do one recording, it's online. So whenever they go to their portal, it is there permanent. Then every 2 weeks we organize something on something else, on something. It doesn't need to be that same topic. It can be different topics. Repeat the different topics and do the different topics 24 times. Or when you get to 6, repeat another. Then after they get into 12, repeat another one. Eventually, people get to hear what is being done. And a lot of people still don't know about Mendeley. It's only postgraduates that think that they need. But undergraduates, they also write project work. And there's nothing more annoying to see somebody who has not having got an insert citation but have references. Where do they get it from? References having me understand what you're doing. It's not in, so I can be out. So we just need that you need some references. I don't need references. If it's not in, it cannot be out. The person just does not get it. But at least if the person knows about Mendeley and whatnot, fortunately it's free. Yeah, so you can get it and in. So by and by, when a person gets to masters, his thinking is okay. And then you have to say, oh, I wish I knew this earlier. But it has always been there. I remember when during my time, I got the school, and then people are saying, what bibliographical software do you use? Zotero.
Manpower.
Yeah, you use Zotero, use Mendeley, use EndNote. I said, I do manual.
Call it manpower.
In terror. The next day I got a call from somebody who said that she's the liaison officer for the College of Education. I understand that you're a new postgraduate student there. And I smiled. I've been in the school for 3 months. Just yesterday I said I do manual. Someone has reported me. Come and catch that black man. That's no. And then I got to know how to use EndNote, and I realized that too. All these things. You want to publish a paper. You learn how to do APA. They say, please, they use Chicago. You do Chicago, then they say, sorry, your paper was not, it seems to be not in our preview. If you go somewhere else, then you go and learn Vancouver. Before you publish the paper, you have learned about 7. When if you all you needed to do was you just do a click and exchange. No. We have suffered. That's why we are old. We have overused the brain and doing things that we shouldn't be doing. The IEEE version is the one that you have to put the number in square brackets. So it's not in. And you learn that. You go and do it, it doesn't work. Now even forgotten what you did. So first thing you do is that you keep your paper, original paper in APA. So that if you go somewhere it doesn't work, you return to APA and go. But if you start with you after learning IEEE, it didn't work. Now to convert from IEEE, it's a different thing. But with the click of a button, you're done. You are suffered.
Wow. Very interesting and insightful. Okay, go ahead, sir.
The answer to my question that you said you are very inquisitive and you need to learn more. And with what Dr. Kobler said, where he says that we can have librarians who are digitally illiterate. Now, have you been to the library where you've been disappointed by a library before, based on some of these things? Not outside, but Ghana.
Ghana linked with the digital librarian itself.
Okay.
I had access to my former business library. when I lost access, I resorted to UCC. The digital librarian is I wish to my I guess it's
Just want to know how you handle. But if you have not been disappointed, then it's fine. Thank you very much. Okay. All right.
For coming to me.
Wow, wow, wow. Anyways, I guess there are no further questions. Are there? Perhaps the last one by my brother, Mr. Agri.
Thank you. Prof, thank you very much for the presentation. I wanted to look, share something with us on cost. Cost, when we talk of infrastructure. And I know some of us, whether we are following the footballer, we are carrying cracked screen and we don't want to change. And my boy was using Samsung and the cost of the screen was more than the phone itself. Apart from talking of other gadgets, I know for the accounts people, we buy one server, they say, okay, buy one in stock so that if this one goes down, we can easily change.
Redundant.
They look at the cost and they're also giving you all sorts of. So can you share something about cost to us? Thank you.
The cost of devices depend on what you want to do with your device. Since I learned how to use Samsung Note that came with a stylus, every time I buy a phone, there must be a stylus. I've become addicted to a stylus. So I'm always saving for the next phone that has a stylus. So when you are starting, well, you start simple, and then as you keep on getting used to, you go for high-end features. And the phone I'm using now, I can add it to the phone. It becomes a desktop of the phone, and therefore I can access everything as if I'm using my phone, the Samsung Dex. In the same way, I can connect HDMI adapter to it, and it works. So sometimes for the first 2 weeks when I'm teaching, I just connect it to the adapter and I'm using my phone just to annoy some students. Yeah, people buy other phones and they just don't know how to use the features. The first day in my class, and when you come, I just said that I have a QR code for the course manual. Then another QR code for introduction. So first thing I said that I am Kofi. If you want to know more, scan the code. That's when you realize people have Yam smartphones. Some can scan, some can scan. Okay. Then you scan and you know about me. The next thing, when you scan, it just takes you to the directory. And then download. Next one about the course manual. It gets there. I say I'm not going to put anything on pen drive. Then next is about the books. So these are the books that you're going to use. They are also QR code. And then we are done. So those who have real smartphones, they get to download. Others, I said that then you have to upgrade your phone and then get it. So if you are becoming more digital literate, you tend to realize that you want to have devices that have some features. And then the more features you have on the phone, the more expensive the phone is, and therefore you tend to take more care about the phone. Those times we're using Nokia 3210 and the phone can hit, it will split. You pick it and assemble, and then you're going. But this says drop the phone. And when you drop the phone, you hold your heart. You don't look at the phone, it's your hand that you touch because you realize that you cannot pay for the part. And as I said, Samsung phone is the screen that's the most expensive.
Yes.
One time the cost is so let me go and buy a Huawei or a Techno. But you can get it, but it's just for some parts, but you won't get the other features. So that means that whenever you're holding a phone, my phone now I'm using what is called Otter, in the Otter case, and they claim that unless you use a hammer to hit it, the phone is protected. So I bought it, $60. Now I could have done something better with $60, but they claim that to do it, so I put it on my phone. It made my phone a bit bigger, but and heavier. But if you claim that they can protect it, because really I don't have the money to go and buy another phone. So the cost has been an issue. Now, one of the things we had earlier, which has become a problem, was that we had this RLG or RG, this particular something, who was assembling machine, which was very good, very good. Somehow that thing went bad. You want 20 computers, you give you 10, and so these are high end. But I know what I wanted. I didn't want high end. I wanted low cost. So along the way, that thing went away. Now, somehow, 15, 20 years, we've got this KNet, those who are assembling TM1. Yeah, but they only doing laptops, and now they're also the ones doing the smart laptops for the. But the issue is that everything is assembled. You can get the case, then after that, the components is also assembled. You see what you want, you can get what you want, whether you want it as a tablet or as a phone. So if I don't know the politics behind it, but think of the 16 public universities. If we set up a company for all our students, and we can get any component that you want. So after that, at the back of the case, we embedded it UCC, KNUST, all the. So you come, okay, this is our baseline. What would you want? You say what you want, we assemble for you. And you get your machine. And for my wife, I bought a machine for her, and I got embedded at the back situ. And it has scored some points. And when she takes it to work and she opens the machine, hey, you've got your name. And so my husband did it. I'm scoring the point. So for $50, I'm scoring points over and over and over. You just say what you want, you get what you want. So if we also come along that way, I don't know how the director of finance, but unless we have the enough numbers to set up a company, if we have the actual risk to think about that, okay, if we have this number of students for this, and then we have this who pay for this over the next 4 years, and I think University of Ilorin, that's something similar. When you go first, they're giving a computer. And I don't think that you drop school because of a computer. But by the end of the 4 years, the machine is yours. If you decide that you don't want it, and exchange it, does not become an issue. But a place here where tools become an issue, access become an issue, you can decide to give up. But unfortunately, they have to give up. It's moving on. There were some students here, our staff, who got scholarship during COVID. They couldn't go because almost every country has shut down, closed their borders. So they were doing online. After 1 year, when the people opened their borders, they left. So if you say that, I don't know how to do online, your scholarship will expire. And then next year you have to reapply. Who says that you get to the next time? Yeah, so these are what people are using now. And it also helps them in cutting costs. So instead of you coming there to do that, to do 1 year online, this and that, at least the money that you're going to spend on you will be less. Yeah, so you must embrace this new technology. E-learning is in. The best boost we had is COVID. It has always been a system, but people have not been using it. But when the university said that we must teach, at least for now, it's guaranteed that almost every second semester course in UCC is online, because we are asked to teach online in the second semester. When the students came, I was teaching research methods then, so we're just going over what we did. And they said, we don't understand, we've not seen this. I said, it's all on a manual. Oh, say we've not seen it. No problem. I opened up, went to the data analytics, and what's your number? They're going to check. Never. The next person, never. then people started logging on with their phone. Before I realized 2 seconds ago, 5, 10 seconds, and I started laughing. I there's something we can check, but we don't. So you've not checked the thing, and then I was very disappointed. I spent time investing in it, and you don't even look. And you are now back and you asking me questions that is already answered in it. It's like, me you.
Thank you very much, Professor Kofi Ayubi-Atta. Right. So at this juncture, I think we have Dr. Mark Anthony address us briefly or gives a remarks, a very brief remarks, and then we would go for our lunch.
Thank you, Mr. MC, and thank you again, Prof, for. I just put a call through to Prof about this topic. When we look within, we realize that he was one of the person who was qualified to speak on this topic. He has always been a friend of the library. He has been a resource person for some of our training programs in the library. So quickly, the local committee felt that he was the right person. And right at the meeting, I put a call and gladly accepted without any hesitation to speak to us on this. I think it deserves another kind of applause. Yes, yes. So as you know, the chair is already gone. I want to use this space to just make a few announcements before we break before the last two activities, before we break for lunch. We only have a vote of thanks and closing prayer. Then this section would have come to an end. So as we know, this is how we plan the COOD meetings in recent times. We spend the first day on things like this. The agenda tomorrow, our business is quite tall. And if we want to do everything tomorrow, I'm sure we can go on the site visit to the castle, those of you who have not been to the castle, or those who have not gone there as a group. It's one thing going as a group and also going individually. So we wanted to come back after lunch. I'm sure by 1:30 we'll go for lunch, then come back around 2:30 and do some 2 hours of the business. I'm sure we can choose the minutes and other matters arising and some part of the new business so that we come tomorrow by 9 and by 12 we should be done. 12 so that we can have lunch, and those who want to go can go, those who want to also join us, go to the cafe can go. So you have to bear with us with the pressure that we have. If we don't do it that way, then tomorrow we'll be here till about 2 or 3. That's the first announcement. Then let me also say that forgive us for all the organizational challenges. Those of you who have organized this, they happen. For instance, some of you, we have to change your accommodation to from what you chose. The difficulty was that we didn't. Our guest houses are the most affordable within Cape Coast, and they are always highly booked. So we delayed in getting back to them. If we don't book within a month or 2, you will not get what you want. So by the time we go back to them with our confirmations, some of the places were already booked. We tried everything that we could to get you, but it didn't work. So we had to look for some alternative within our budget range that we gave you. So it was not deliberate to send some of you out of the campus. We made arrangements that will provide buses. You can park your car. There are buses that can. We have a mini bus from the registers of it, which is available. We have another coastal bus available for our meeting. So I don't think you use your cars now. Save your fuel. The cars can take you in and out of those of you who are off campus, so they can save your fuel. So please forgive us and other organizational challenges. I know you saw that Professor Elizabeth was going to be one of the guest speakers. I'm sure if I was with some of my colleagues, I would have already have even go there. But we were disappointed at the last hour. We had to make somebody do this for us. So please, if you don't see the person who was advertised here, we have to struggle. The gentleman who came to speak in the morning actually was spoken to just maybe Wednesday or so, and he's done a good job. So for me, sometimes you have to just look for somebody and who can stand in for. It's not really into library, but you can see look at what he has done. So please, sometimes these things happen. We just try to make up for some of the challenges that we face. So forgive us for that. and we just have to bear with it. Anything that does not work your way, the way you expect it, is part of it. Those who are going to host in the future, you will still have these challenges. When the guy will try and adjust and make amendment to them. So I want to make that point very clear. We are going to have lunch at we can eat in the library, and we don't have that green environment like you have. We have it. When we take you there, maybe mosquitoes will be biting you. So we go to one of our institute's restaurants to have our lunch. The buses are there, so don't move your car. We are going to all join the buses and go there. The bus it's not far, it's just a walking distance. So we're going to go there and have our lunch there and come back here for our business. The code business is now members and our observers. They are always welcome. We are not a secret organization. Just that when it comes to voting, the observers don't have a voting right, but they can observe. So we'll come back here for this at 2:30, and we'll try and stay up to about 4:30. Then we'll go and rest and come back tomorrow and finish. But before even the vote of thanks comes, I am very excited about the numbers, the representation at this meeting. I'm really impressed for honoring our invitation to be here. I think it's quite impressive, and we look forward to a stronger COOD, and we'll see how we make it stronger even for the future. So thank you very much, and I'll let the program finish with the MC. And MC, thank you so much.
Thank you too. On that note, we take the vote of thanks by Dr. Gloria Techi Donko.
Right. So I think we have had a very refreshing moment, and it's time for us to show appreciation. And so first of all, we want to appreciate God for how far He has brought us. His mercies, His faithfulness has brought all of us this far. And so God, we are grateful to you. On behalf of the University of Cape Coast Librarians, the local organizing committee, I give thanks to all our special guests. They are not here, so I don't want to bore you with their names. So special thanks go to the guest speakers, Dr. Ayuno and then Professor Ayibi Atta. I want to thank all of you for your comportment, your participation, and your contribution. We hope that by tomorrow, we are going to be well versed in all that we have said we are going to discuss throughout the meeting. God bless you so much for your patience. Thank you.
And thank you too for thanking us. On this note, shall we respectfully rise to our feet as our brother Dr. Usman Imoro leads us in the closing prayer.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Almighty Allah, we thank you for yet another successful meeting. We thank you for your guidance and your protection throughout the meeting. We ask that we put our guests into your hands. Please guide and protect them. Give them wisdom. Your word says that any one or group of persons that you have guided, nobody can lead them astray. We ask that you continue to guide us. You continue to guide us. When we are ending this section, we're coming back for our discussion. Please guide us in our discussion as we discuss issues pertaining into the advancement of our profession. We thank you and continuously ask for your protection. Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam tabarakta ya za jalali wal ikram la ilaha illallah wa adahu la sharika lah wa huwal mulku wa huwal hamd wa huwa ala yumitin wa huwa ala kulli shay'in kareem. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-barzil wa jumuni wa jizami ومن جميع أسكام. اللهم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amen.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you so much, and I'm thrilled to host you as the moderator for the session. Thank you so much. Please, we are all moving downstairs to board the bus for our lunch. And then we come back afterwards. By then, I would excuse you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.